Welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 282. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk.
Just putting a little lotion on my mitts.
Natural lotion.
Natural lotion on my mitts.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little dry. Here we go. So last week I burned my foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's healing up really nicely.
Yeah.
But so I took the week off of jiu-jitsu because if I went, I would have tore open this pus-filled foot all over the mat. And I don't think anybody would have been liking that.
No, probably not.
No. So anyways, a week off of jiu-jitsu, my hands were holding together pretty good, not too dry. One fucking night back, and these things are already just like falling apart.
It doesn't help that last week it was really nice out. And this week it got
cold again.
Very cold and windy.
That could be why it was like the immediate change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, let's see what else I got.
We just tried going out to eat. Well, we did go out to eat.
Yeah, we went to eat.
Which Claire at Hangar 54, highly recommend.
It's good.
It was really good. But then we slowly discovered our limitations with our allergies. Specifically mine.
So yeah, Sam and I did our allergy panel. And so my main ones, baking yeast and eggs, almonds and peanuts.
All nuts, pretty much, right?
Almonds, peanuts, pistachios.
Yeah.
I can have cashews.
Oh, okay.
And
Tomatoes.
Those are my big ones. Because I ate peanuts and almonds every single day. I ate baker's yeast most days. I ate eggs every fucking day, many a day. And then tomatoes, I actually had quite a bit because
ketchup
every day, barbecue sauce. Yeah. I would just eat tomatoes because I love tomatoes. Anytime we'd have pizza,
pasta,
salsa, because I got tomatoes on. Anytime I'd go out to eat, I'd get salsa on. Like,
oh yeah.
So, anyways, those are my five big ones. 5 big ones, and it really dawned on me last week how much that inhibits. Because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get a cookie, and I was like, wait, no. There's eggs in cookies. So then I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, that means I can't have a donut because there's yeast in donut. And it just went da-da-da-da. And I'm like, can I do anything? And the answer is not really, but you've got it worse.
Yeah, I do. I do indeed. So I have baker's yeast, wheat, barley, tomatoes, obviously, eggs, lactose. So, cow's dairy. Cranberries, and then some weird ones. So, like kale, chia seeds, flax seeds.
Yeah, I've got shit like that, too.
Those ones don't affect me as much. But, yeah. So, today, looking at the menu, I was just like, is, like, breading on, like, deep-fried stuff gluten-free? No. It's not. It's not gluten-free. And I was like, cool. And I was like, well, I can't get any, like, crispy chicken anything. They had pulled pork, but that has barbecue sauce on it. A lot of their foods were deep fried. And then Sean's like, well, you can build your own burger. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to get a bunless burger.
Without cheese.
Yeah, so a hamburger with onions and I think there's bacon. I was like, yeah, that's going to sound real cool. So for an extra $6, I got steak instead.
I will say this.
Oh, but my vegetables had butter all over them.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I'm curious if that's going to fuck me up in about 10 minutes.
Okay. What I noticed, or I'm not going to say it, when Jake and I went and watched Ryan speak at whatever that bar is in Appleton, they had their burger with a bacon cheeseburger, but the cheese was goat cheese, and they had a maple sauce on it. Dude.
I'm a goat cheese girl now.
I'm telling you, you would have loved this.
Oh, yeah.
Red meat, bacon, goat cheese, a little maple drizzy. Come on.
Dude, I'm like, you know
Come
how
on.
your Uncle Dave sometimes carries salt in his pocket, pink Himalayan salt? Maybe from now on, I'm just going to carry goat cheese on me.
Goat cheese with you. It's an option.
It is an option.
Or we just find places that serve that.
Okay, so nowhere in Eau Claire?
So there's a couple places.
You think so?
Guaranteed.
Okay.
All right. On from that. I'm thinking. What?
Nothing. Go for it.
What the fuck is that?
No, go.
I want to hear what you got to say with your. Go ahead.
Are we going to talk about guns?
No, I'm not talking about guns. You thought I was going to talk about guns?
100%.
No.
Okay.
So I won this. I wasn't even going to talk about guns, and you brought it up. No, I've been thinking about being more productive.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, dude, you hit the office, and then there's just like dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? When you're at the office and you're not secluded, it's easy to like start talking about work and different things at work and and we're talking about like jobs, and we're talking about jobs coming up, sales, talking about like whatever. And it's like, fuck, dude, we just talked about work, but didn't really
do anything
productive about work. We just talked about work. And I'm like, fuck, dude, this is so common in so many companies where it's like, yeah, you're working, and yeah, we're discussing work, but I'm like, there had to be 2 hours wasted today of like, yes, we're discussing work, but how much of it really is like good, productive, pushing the shit forward. And I'm like, it just reminds me more and more and more the need for boundaries at the office.
Yeah.
And for like time. And the importance of meetings, because like we've got our meeting once a week. If we have to have a 10-minute powwow some mornings, we could do that. But we really need to start setting boundaries so that these things can't happen.
I'm hoping like the idea board will help that. Because like, let's say we do chat for 10 minutes about something, and we're like, okay, let's just put this on the board. Because then I think like we over talk about things because we're afraid someone's going to forget it.
We just
But if we just write it on the idea board, then we can like go through them like quickly, like in the, I mean, it's very obvious, this whiteboard. So I mean, we can,
the whiteboard?
Yeah. So we can just,
is obvious?
Yeah.
So we're down in Strum yesterday working, cleaning out a property. Thank you to everybody who came to Strum and helped on Monday. We're cleaning out this property, and we're trying to get the dumpster full so they can change it out so it'll be ready for us Wednesday again. So getting the dumpster filled, whatever. It's 4:30. All right, we got a dip. It's 4:30. I got class at 6.
I asked you last week if we could go at 5.
Yep. And so we planned to leave at 4, but we wanted to stay and fill the dumpster, so we ended up staying until 4:30. Leave. Sam's like, don't forget, we got to go get the whiteboard in Chippewa. It's 40 minutes from here. Okay, great, awesome, let's go. Cruise on up. We show up, and this fucking whiteboard is in the driveway of this warehouse, taking up the driveway.
Yep.
4 by 8.
4 feet by 8 feet.
4 feet by 8 feet is the board, and then it's on a 3-foot stand that fucking twirls. And so you got this goddamn monstrosity that stands 7 feet tall, 9.5 feet wide, and I'm like, hey,
I wouldn't say it was 9.5 feet wide. I'd go 8 feet, 8.5 feet. Anyways.
All right. 8.5 feet wide. And I'm like, we've got a bed full of tools because we were just down working on shit. And I'm like, how do we plan to get this thing in the fucking truck? And guess what? It's not light. So anyways.
We got on the truck.
Got on the truck. Get it to the office. The room we wanted to put it in, it's too big, it won't fit. So here's this goddamn whiteboard in our main lobby, taking up the fucking lobby.
The whole entryway.
The whole entryway is taken up because of this fucking whiteboard. And so, yeah, it's pretty hard to miss it.
Oh, man. I sent y'all the listing. You said it was okay to get it, so.
Yeah.
In the picture, it doesn't truly look 4 feet by 8 feet. Like, I was imagining, like, the ones we had at the university. I don't know why, in my head, 8 feet did not comprehend 8 feet.
No. So now we're going to have to deconstruct this thing.
To get it in the room.
To get it in the room.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we want to put it in the room. Because how are we going to twirl that bitch around in that room?
Oh, yeah, once there's a podcast stuff in there.
It ain't going to fit.
Yeah, it's valid.
I don't know where to put this thing.
Honestly, the basement is the best bet. And that's, like, the worst place to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So anyways, should have got the rolling 3 foot by 5 foot.
Oh, yeah, we should have. But this, yeah, I think it'll be helpful once we have the idea board. Because Brooke comes up with stuff all day long, which is great. Mm-hmm. But then she, like, comes in, interrupts us. We talk about it for half an hour. And we're like, okay, we got to get back to work. And then it's just a vicious cycle over and over and over. So if we just have an idea board, anytime any of us come up with ideas, just go write it on the board. Right. We can go over it during our team meeting or whenever.
Right. But yeah, so anyways, I was just thinking, like...
Do you want to know the other big distraction that never used to be a distraction?
Mimi?
Oh my God. I could not tell you how many times I'm just like chilling there and she just wants to play fetch.
Just wants to play fetch, dude.
Oh my God. And when I worked at Stable, she'd just sleep all day and it was great. But now she's just like, no, gotta go. Let's go.
I think it has a lot to do with so much shit going on.
Because there's multiple of us there.
So, like, if Brooke was in her office, you were in your office, I was in mine, mm-hmm. She would just, like, lay down and chill. But because there's, like, people running around, so much going on, she's just like, people are up. I need to be up. What do I do when I'm up? Play fetch.
Mm-hmm. And I think because this office is big enough where she can.
Play fetch.
Yeah.
Yep, she's just like... But anyways, yeah, so the big thing is this. Sure, we are paid, like, hourly, but I know by, like... Because I know if we schedule this shit out properly, set boundaries, time block, mm-hmm. We'll be able to get as much done in half the day.
Oh,
Easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy. If not more.
Yeah.
And I know on the job site, too, that shit happens on the job site, too. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll over-discuss certain shit instead of just, like, getting after it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things, like, that we have to figure out and, like... Work on, and if, like, questions will get answered at the end of the day or later on.
Who cleaned your dishes today?
I didn't have any dishes in the sink.
Oh, where were they? Someone cleaned them.
That were sitting on the thing? Mm-hmm. That was yours.
Mm-mm. Your gray blender bottle and a container with the dark green lid were washed.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she did that after that was Brooke.
Shaun goes, we're trying to work on our, like, figure out what our core values and principles are, or mission statement is for a company. And one of the things that both of us really, like, want for a company is what Andy Frisella says about being
taking initiative,
setting a standard. We pull up today, or was it right before lunch? At some point today, Shaun's like, "Oh, we should put these inside, and then Brooke can wash them for me."
What? She's good at what she does.
Take an initiative, Shaun.
It's not my fault she likes things clean.
Yeah, that's true. I need to sweep behind your door. Your office is god awful.
Yep.
Anyways, I just thought it was very entertaining part of today.
Me too. Ideally, I'll get my shit figured out where I spend a lot less time at the office.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Today I tried to shut myself in a room, and someone wouldn't let me have the door shut.
You just need to let her in there with you.
She wouldn't stay. I bet you she would not stay in there.
She'll just stay at the door.
Yeah. I was just surprised she was patient, though, and just sat there.
Just sat there, didn't make any noise, just stared at the doorknob.
Mm-hmm. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as everyone left, she immediately just stood in my lap.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I'll just pack this up. We can go home, and you can lay in your comfy bed. And that's what we did.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been the office life lately. It's been entertaining, to say the least. Yesterday was fun, though. Monday.
Yesterday was a lot of fun. Monday.
So, have we talked about that house?
No.
So one of our new projects, it's actually kind of interesting, I think, the whole situation. So the house had a fire, just in the entryway. Quite a bit of smoke damage in the living room. Some in the kitchen, but not a whole lot. We're going to be able to salvage the cabinets, so that's a plus. The other, I think, worst part about this house is that they were hoarders.
Mm-hmm.
So we, there was 5 of us on Monday from 9 until 4.
Yep.
We filled up 2 30-yard dumpsters of things and garbage. And probably we'll fill up another 1 of just garbage and then another 2 of gutting.
Mm-hmm. And they already have taken 2 30-yard dumpsters out of there before we got there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. People are good at hoarding.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this house is pretty big, I would say, but man, that's big. Like, they had to have that house stuffed.
Yeah, I was talking to the guy with the city who came in when they put out the fire.
Mm-hmm.
He went upstairs, like, checked the bedrooms to make sure there was no animals or anything like that. He said one of the doors at the top of the stairs he opened, and he could only open it a crack because it hit shit. And he could only, like, fit his body through it to, like, check because it was so full of stuff, just to the ceiling.
No way.
So that's why all the doors were closed, because they were just filled with shit. Yeah, because, I mean, what saved a lot of the house was every room had doors shut off to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a huge savior.
Yeah. The kitchen could have, I'm sure, if they went to.
If they would have closed the barn door.
Yeah.
They had the barn door closed.
That door was cool.
Yeah, it was.
You can see, because it got really affected, obviously. It's right off the entryway. You could see this, like, American Eagle, and we were wondering if it was metal or not. No, it's, like, carved in the wood, or, like, on a piece of wood.
Oh, yeah.
Glued on. It, like, that had to have been a beautiful door.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's
not so beautiful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know, it'd be a fun little project.
Mm-hmm.
Big project.
It's going to be a big project.
Yeah.
But it'll be definitely worth it, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
We're really liking the people of Strom, that's for sure.
I like Strom.
I was, though. I will admit, I was hoping someone was going to bring us over a cup of coffee or 2.
Dude, the sheriff, or the police chief, he's like, don't be surprised if you guys are here working a lot if the neighbors don't bring you over some pie or some cookies or whatever. I'm like, damn. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, all the houses around it are very nice. Very well kept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, They don't have anything in their yard. So I could see them like, so this yard, you could tell they were trying to do cool things at first. Because they had some cool, like there's a tree trunk and there was like chairs cut out into it and like a couple little statues. And then it just got extreme and then it became garbage looking. But I'm sure like it just like the first couple of things that were put into that yard, I'm sure the neighbors were not happy of because it does not match anybody else's aesthetic.
No, not at all.
It also reminds me of the meth head house.
Yeah, it does. Those people definitely did drugs.
Oh, 100% did drugs.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So I was doing more research on the whole life insurance.
Oh yeah.
Reading the book today, and Ryan actually texted me too, which lined up with what I was reading today, which is pretty cool. That the reason it's tax deferred is because it's technically an overpayment. And they say right in the book, like, they're like, these policies are written by actuators. Actuators aren't dumb. Insurance salesmen are also not dumb, and they want a job. And so it's like the actuators don't want the business to go to business because then they don't have a job. The insurance salesmen don't want it to go to business, so they know that commission's necessary and all this. So they're like, well, what happens? Well, the insurance brokers put a padding on to protect the company. Okay. And so it goes into like examples of how you're able to get your tax deferred dividends of around 4%. So how it happens is, so you pay in, and while you're paying in over the first like 5 to 7 years, a lot of your payments goes to fees. Fees and so fees for commission and other like fees for your account, right? And then once you have done 5 to 7 years, you get a lot more into your actual cash basis. Well, the policy, so you're paying all this money in, and then the policy, when you die, pays out X amount, which apparently, from what they were saying, is like, from the example they were giving, is like 80% of your cash basis. So you've been contributing, paying in, paying your fees, and then you die and you get paid out 80%.
Well, your family gets paid out 80%.
Yeah, your family gets paid out 80% of your cash basis through your death penalty. So say you saved up $1 million, your family would get $800,000. And the way they said it is, you've really paid in 110% because of all your fees and everything. And so there's like a 30% difference. And so because of that 30% difference, what they do then is an actuarial. That's what it is. Actuarial comes in. And they review it and they go, okay, yep. So this policy we were over. Well, let's save some for the company. So they'll save, in this example, they save 2.5%. So save 2.5% with the company, and we'll distribute 27.5%. So then that 27.5% is how we get our dividends, is how the people in the policy get their dividends, because they pay that out through everybody. So essentially, dividends are like the difference in the death compared to the cash basis payout, right? And so that's where you start to recoup your tax deferred dividend. Well, but then if you think about it and you go, okay, well, if I'm paying in 110%, when I die, my family's going to get 80%, but I'm getting 4% throughout the way, and I'm all jazzed up because that 4% is tax deferred. That's still 26% difference, gang. And that's the example directly out of the book, like the Infinite Banking book, directly out of it. And I'm like, that's not great that you're telling me by me housing this money here, I'm actually losing money.
What do you get taxed? Because doesn't your family get like capital gains tax or something if you have money? Like when you die?
Yeah, there's some level of taxation, yep. And I'm not sure what it is. That's why trusts are so big.
Yeah. So that's what Sean and I were discussing this morning. Because these used to be like everyone had these.
Yeah, like 90 some percent of the population had these 100 years ago.
Yeah. But my guess is that it probably evolved into trusts because then you just have a trustee manage your account.
Right.
And I'm assuming trustees are not taking 30%.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I'm sure it's just an attorney of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty impressed with it. I wasn't a big fan. I've still got a whole book. I've got, I've made it 30 pages into the book, so I've got a lot to go.
Because you don't get taxed on that 80% when you die, right? Or your family doesn't?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to find that out.
I'm guessing the other thing is just like people are probably thinking like, okay, this is a safe place for me to put my money. Like especially people that have a lot of money to put my money, and like while I'm still living, I can still invest with it,
right,
and use stuff with it, and then I know my family is also like good when I pass because honestly, your family's not gonna know that they lost 30% of your money or whatever.
Right. So part of that is they said you can invest. So say you don't even want to invest much in your own self, you can still invest that in other people's stuff, Yeah,
because didn't someone come talk about that?
No.
Oh, no.
They talked about IRA. Oh, okay. Self-directed IRA. But yeah, you can still lend to other people, is one of the things they talked about. A couple things they said, though, is like, this is a guaranteed way. This is more guaranteed than a savings account.
Okay.
Like money, somehow. That makes 0 sense to me, but whatever. Somehow it's a more guaranteed way to your money, like a safer option than a savings account. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's like what they were saying.
I'm guessing like because it used to be a big thing where banks would close.
It could be. But I guess a lot of, from what the book's saying and a lot of stuff, is a lot of banks store their money in whole life policies. A lot of, like, the biggest banks in the world own the majority of whole life policies.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't
know.
Who
do they put them under? Don't you have to have someone, like, for them?
Right. I don't know. That's what I thought, too. Super interesting.
That is very interesting. Cool.
But then, yeah, what Ryan was texting me, so he texted me about the overpayment thing, so that's how you get away from the tax deferred. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. But he said he was, like, checking with, like, what professionals were saying, and a lot of professionals were saying, like, oh, just use a high-yield savings account at 4.5%. It's the same thing compounding in that account, except for you have to pay taxes on your whatever. But, I mean, at that realm, you're paying taxes on your interest you're making at 4.5% of the money there, and then you lend the money out to do stuff, at 8%, 10%, and you get that money back. And so it's like, yeah, you do pay interest and stuff. You get compounding, and you do have to pay taxes, but
yeah,
I don't know.
The only hard thing with the high interest savings accounts is like if we have a time again, like
where it goes down.
Yeah,
it'll happen.
So because it was it was
2%. For a while, it got down to 0.3.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was like down to 0.5.
Yeah, during COVID, it got down to like 0.3, 0.5.
Yeah.
Now it's up to 4.5.
Yeah.
Robinhood's 5.25.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Oh. So, anyways, that's kind of what I'm learning there, which is interesting.
That's fun.
Want a gun?
Didn't we discuss this already?
No, because you were gonna bring it up.
Oh.
No, you brought it up.
Yep. Go ahead.
I want a gun. I don't think I'm gonna keep it.
I thought we discussed this on Mondays.
I think so too.
Cool. Yeah, Sean did some research, like he does cars, and decided probably not.
People are like, this gun's got one purpose: hunting small varmint.
Oh my goodness. So we talked about The Tattooist of Auschwitz here, right?
Yeah.
I know it's a really good book, and you should definitely read it. You should definitely go to Auschwitz. It's so, so cool. So that one was based off of, I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
But there was someone else that we would hear about in that story. Silka.
Yes.
Silka was Jita's best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she worked in the administration office.
That's right.
Why does Eddie comes to my name? But I think that's the other one, the happiest man on earth. It's not Eddie. It's God, I can't remember. But anyway, so the tattooist, he witnesses Silka getting pulled back into the administration office for one of the administrators to take advantage of her. So the second tattooist of Auschwitz is about her, and it's interesting because it's not even about the Holocaust time. It's about what happens to her afterwards. And then she has some flashbacks of Auschwitz throughout her time that she's a Russian prisoner. And it's very, very interesting. Because we heard in Prague how even once Russia took over, that things still weren't actually that great because they just went from fascist to communist, and it affected everyone instead of just the Jews was the issue with the Russians coming in. So that's what has been very interesting is Silka doesn't talk about like her past, so she doesn't. In her new camp, she hasn't told anyone that she was at that camp before.
Lael.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, she doesn't tell anyone that she was at Auschwitz or that she's a Jew, because she's just so afraid because she just got imprisoned for years for being a Jew. So yeah, she doesn't tell anyone anything, but she tries to help all these other women from what she learned while at Auschwitz. So yeah, it's been very interesting. With Silka, I didn't realize how young Silka was.
How old was she?
When she, I think, got arrested, she was 14.
Wow.
And then I think she's 18 in this, maybe.
Oh, interesting.
But it's just like there's some points of it that are just like so intriguing because she constantly says like she tries to like hide and not stand out, but she always stands out. And like she had a flashback from when she was like a younger kid, and she always thought like her older sister was the most beautiful person in the world. And then they ran into a couple like boys along the street, and they were telling her older sister like, you better watch out, like your younger sister's gonna really churn some men's heads or something.
Oh, interesting.
And so yeah, so I guess she's like just beautiful even with her hair chopped off. But yeah,
crazy. Damn. So you reading that now?
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
That's pretty dope.
So yeah, because I think even in Auschwitz, they even talked about how like they were saved when the Russians came in, blah blah blah. But then in Prague, that one tour guide told us like, oh, actually, it wasn't that great when the Russians came.
Yeah, when the Russians came, because then we read the sign about how many people then died under communism, and it was like.
Well, yeah, because in this camp, like people are just getting imprisoned for, because I think she has a lot of Polish girls in her camp or in her building. They just get imprisoned because their families sold bread to the Nazis, and it's just like, well, they had to survive because those were the only people that were there at the time.
Damn. So
yeah, like the Russians imprisoned everyone and anyone that had anything to do with the Nazis.
Crazy. Damn.
So Silka got arrested because they said she slept with the SS officers that she is a spy for the SS.
Makes sense.
And she was just like, I just did what I needed to survive.
Right. Wild.
So yeah, I highly recommend reading The Tattooist of Auschwitz and then Silka's journey after.
I'm going to have to read that.
And The Happiest Man on Earth. That one's also really interesting.
I got to read that one too. Cool.
I recently, ever since we went to Auschwitz, I've just loved like World War II novels.
You're becoming a Republican. It's the onset signs of it.
Is it?
When you start reading and watching about World War II.
I mean, these are like, technically, like Silka's journey is fictional, technically.
Yep.
Because there were like some parts she did have to fabricate to like create the whole story.
That's what they said about Tattoos to Auschwitz. A lot of people are like, this is so unreal and all that stuff. And they're like, yeah, we had to make it a story. But like 95% of the content is based on reality. There's just some things that are like fabricated to make it a good story.
Because you have to think, you can't screenplay like how Lyle can't screenplay like what he actually like went through the whole time. Like, you're gonna only interview him and ask him so many questions about everything. And how long ago was it that they?
So how much did they forget?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because he finally did this when he was like 85 years old. Yeah.
And so that like, obviously, you're gonna have to make up parts to make the story flow.
Right. Yeah, because you can only
Otherwise, it'd be so choppy.
Yeah. It's just good to, like, those things are good to, like, listen to and shit and based off, like, okay, this place was fucked up, and we should probably not do that stuff again, and,
oh, wait, we tried.
You know, they always try and shit, and people need to read history.
They do.
And a lot of people don't, because a lot of people don't read.
Yeah. Was it Downton Abbey? Was it World War I or World War II? Or was it both?
World War I.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because remember they said like it was never the same after that, but they kind of acted like it was the same.
Yeah.
Oh, but the mother, because she was busy nursing all the... Well, no, they didn't have a sick ward. Did they? In their house? No. Okay. But yeah, I remember she had to like, she was helping with them all day. So then once like they didn't have to do that all day, she was like, I'm bored.
Yeah. Yep. That is exactly what happened. Crazy. What else you got?
Not a whole lot, I don't think. We've been working on some Legos again on our Saturday nights. Been trying to order some more natural products, so we got our natural lotion right next to Shaun, and actually our natural lip balm. And then I got some hair wax in today. The hair wax has beeswax in it.
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool. So yeah, just trying to be a little more health conscious, especially because we both have our skin issues.
You're listening to this Friday. I'm officially going to be done.
You are?
With testosterone.
How do you feel? How will you feel?
I think I'll feel pretty bad. Realistically.
Do you think it's going to be more mental than anything?
No. I actually think it's going to be less mental, more physical.
Okay.
I think so. I think mentally, I think that's how it's going to be.
But do you think... So if you go into this thinking my test is going to be really low, it's going to be really low, it's going to be super low.
Oh, yeah.
Then it will just plummet. But if you go into it thinking like, no, I'm going to be able to get it naturally really high, it'll probably go higher naturally.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We're going to find out. Took me 7 years to get here. So I don't expect to be able to write this out in a year. But I'm hoping I can feel good and keep somewhat of a physique.
You should really write some of your blog posts on those. That was one thing I wish I would have done more of when I got off of hormonal birth control, was keeping track of the things. Because I'd look back, like, especially that first year, like, my mood changed drastically in the first month. But then there was, like, so many other things that, like, when I look back on it, I was just like, oh, my God, I just noticed, like, not now, but, like, 2 years after I got off, like, then my muscles started defining a little bit more. Or, like, There were some very weird things, and I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but I did write a couple blog posts about, like, 3 years after I got off of hormonal, I, like, was still noticing some changes.
Right. Well, that's, I mean, fuck. I imagine that's probably going to be the same for me.
I think you'll have an easier time just because we do eat really healthy now. So, like, when I got off of hormonal, we started cleaning our diet, but we still weren't eating the best foods for me to, like, fix my cycle again.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna see. I'm a little nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I hope mentally that I don't get too affected and I'm able to keep pushing. So if my body falls apart a little bit, I'll be like, okay, I know, give it some time, it'll come back, whatever. But if I'm like, if my mental game's fucked up, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough.
I think mental's gonna be easier to fix than physical.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it will be.
Yeah. Why is that?
Why is that? I just think there's easier things to do to, like, refocus you. So, like, even now, probably we should actually practice, like, both of us should practice meditation. They say you should do it in the mornings and at night. And you just, like, slowly work your way up in time. So you can just start at 30 seconds and then try and work your way up to 5 minutes. But, I mean, how many people have we talked to that say meditation is, like, one of the best things to focus your mind? So I think there's a lot easier things to work, like, to do to help improve mental.
Right. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. And if there's going to be some changes and shit, whatever, I'm really going to start noticing in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll start noticing some shit.
That'll be perfect, right, as we go on vacation.
Fuck, dude.
Terrible timing.
Fuck.
Cool. Well, I'm tired.
Yeah, I got to go to bed. All right, gang. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
Catch you on the next one.